If you thought Rishi Sunak's appearance on GB News couldn't get more chaotic, think again. The Prime Minister's recent interview on the controversial channel has become the latest target of Have I Got News for You, the iconic British panel show known for its razor-sharp wit and merciless takedowns of political missteps. By the end of this video, you'll see why Sunak's GB News meltdown is being called a total train wreck, and why Have I Got News for You had a field day with it. Let's dive in. The segment opened with host Ian Hislop, ever the master of understated sarcasm, setting the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we witnessed a truly historic moment in British politics, he began, a sly grin spreading across his face. Our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, decided to grace GB News with his presence. And by grace, I mean stumble through an interview so awkward it made The Office look like a documentary. The audience erupted in laughter, and the tone was set for what would be a brutal dissection of Sunak's performance. The show wasted no time in replaying the most cringe-worthy moments from the interview. One clip showed Sunak struggling to answer a question about the economy, his carefully rehearsed talking points falling flat as the host pressed him for specifics. It's like watching someone try to build IKEA furniture without the instructions, quipped guest comedian Aisling B. You can see the panic in his eyes. He's just hoping no one notices the screws are missing. But the real highlight, or lowlight, depending on your perspective, came when Sunak was asked about his government's handling of the NHS. His response, a meandering mix of buzzwords and vague promises, was met with incredulity by the Have I Got News for You panel. He said innovation and efficiency so many times, I thought he was auditioning for a role in The Apprentice, joked Paul Merton, his deadpan delivery earning another round of applause. The show also didn't shy away from addressing the elephant in the room: why Sunak chose to appear on GB News in the first place. Let's be honest, said Hislop, this isn't exactly news night. It's more like the political equivalent of a late-night infomercial. But instead of selling miracle knives, they're peddling conspiracy theories and bad takes. The jab at GB News' controversial reputation drew cheers from the audience, many of whom seemed to share Hislop's skepticism about the channel's credibility. As the segment continued, the panel delved into the broader implications of Sunak's meltdown. This isn't just about one bad interview, noted B. It's about a prime minister who seems increasingly out of touch with the public. When you're struggling to connect with GB News viewers, you know you've got a problem. The observation struck a chord, highlighting the growing disconnect between Sunak's polished image and the realities facing ordinary voters. Of course, no Have I Got News for You segment would be complete without a healthy dose of satire. The show closed with a mock public service announcement, offering tips for politicians on how to survive a GB News interview. Step 1. Avoid eye contact with the host, Merton advised. Step 2. When in doubt, blame the previous government. And Step 3. If all else fails, just start shouting about wokeism. It works every time. The audience roared with laughter, a fitting end to a segment that had skewered Sunak's missteps with equal parts humor and insight. This story is far from over. As the fallout from Sunak's GB News appearance continues to unfold, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an update. There's much more to